All right, so you know those school surveys? You get like the ones asking if you agree or disagree with something.
Yeah.
Like, does the school provide adequate support?
Oh, yeah, those.
And the only options are like somewhat or strongly.
Ugh. It's like the feedback version of like just shrugging.
Exactly. It doesn't really tell you much.
No, not at all.
Well, today on this deep dive, we're looking at a whole different way of doing school feedback. So today we're diving into student story.
Oh, this is a cool one.
Yeah, it is. It's really interesting. You know, it's all about how we can really hear from our students and their families and the whole school community.
Yeah, because everyone wants that, right? To really understand what's working, what's not.
Exactly.
Right.
But the thing is, those traditional surveys, they don't always cut it.
Uh-huh.
You know, sometimes you get these numbers back. But,
Yeah, you're like, okay, 63% of parents feel supported, but
but what about the other 37%? And even for that 63%, like, what are they seeing that's working so well that we could be doing even more of?
and that's where those traditional methods fall short.
They just don't capture the depth and the richness of what people are really experiencing.
And their perspectives, you
Yeah.
know? Like checking a box that says somewhat hopeful doesn't really tell us the whole story.
Nope, not even close.
Yeah.
So that's where Student Story comes in.
Exactly. It's a platform that's designed to go way beyond just checking boxes.
It's about capturing those real voices and those individual experiences in people's own words.
It's like the difference between reading a summary of a book and actually getting lost in the story itself.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So how does it work? Tell me more about how Student Story actually does this.
Well, they offer a ton of different ways for people to share their feedback. It's not just those traditional surveys.
Right, I was looking at their website, and it's amazing all the options they have.
Yeah, it's totally mobile friendly. There's voice recording with automatic language translation, which is huge.
Huge, especially for schools with diverse populations.
Exactly. You can even do conversational text messages. And get this, they have an AI-powered chat agent.
Oh, yeah, and an automated phone service, too. I mean, they've really thought of everything.
They really have,
Yeah,
which is so important for making sure everyone feels comfortable participating.
absolutely. Because not everyone is tech savvy or comfortable with traditional surveys.
Right. So Student Story just opens up those possibilities for gathering really authentic perspectives from everyone.
Love it. Okay, so they've got all this amazing feedback coming in. How do they actually make sense of it all? It seems like it would be a lot to process.
Well, this is where it gets really cool because Student Story doesn't just collect the data. It analyzes the actual language that people use.
So it's not just about whether someone says they're happy or not happy?
Exactly. It goes so much deeper than that. It's about understanding the why behind those feelings.
So it's not, are you satisfied?
Yeah.
It's, tell me what's making you satisfied.
Mm.
And then really digging into the nuances of their response.
Exactly. The nuance, the emotion behind people's words. They can even detect things like contextual undertones and potential biases.
That's incredible. So it's like you're not just getting a snapshot of how someone feels right at that moment. You're getting a much richer, more contextualized understanding. So you could be missing out on a lot of important information if you're just looking at the surface.
Exactly. And for schools, this means they can get insights they wouldn't have had access to before.
I can see that. Instead of just seeing that, say, 30% of students are struggling with a particular concept.
They can understand why those students are struggling and what specific aspects of that concept are causing them difficulty.
So it's not just about identifying problems. It's about understanding them on a much deeper level, so you can actually start to address them effectively.
And make real improvements. And to make all of this manageable, Student Story provides this really clear and concise executive summary.
Okay, what is that exactly?
So it pulls out all the key themes and trends from all that data that's been collected.
So you don't have to wade through mountains of data yourself.
Nope. It's like having a team of experts distilling months of research into a digestible report.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So you're not just left with a bunch of data points, you get actual guidance on how to use those insights.
Right. You get guidance on how to turn those insights into meaningful action. It's like having a roadmap for improvement customized to your school's specific needs.
Now we're talking.
And it provides supporting quotes directly from the feedback.
Oh, that's cool. So you can actually see the real stories behind the data.
Exactly. And the best part is it suggests potential action steps you can take based on what you're hearing.
So it's not just telling you what's going on, it's helping you figure out what to do about it.
Exactly. And if you need even more support, Student Story has this incredible feature called the Data Agent.
Okay. I've heard of chatbots before. What's so special about this one?
Well, it's basically like having a professional level chatbot on your team, but it's not just any generic bot.
So it's not just giving you canned responses.
Right. Nope. This one's been trained on all the data that's been collected from your school's community.
So it's like having a personalized research assistant who knows everything about your school's feedback. That's wild.
It really is. And it can offer expert advice on things like strategic planning.
Okay, so it can help you actually use the data to make decisions.
Exactly. And it can guide you on how to address those action items we were just talking about.
I'm getting this sense that Student Story is all about making data accessible and actionable. But I'm a visual person. I need to see things laid out clearly. How does Student Story handle the presentation of all this data?
Well, you're in luck because they have this fantastic data dashboard that's all about easy visualization and exploration.
Okay, tell me more.
You can filter, you can sort, you can really dig into the details of your data.
So if I want to see, say, all the responses from parents of ninth graders about the new math curriculum, I can do that.
Absolutely.
Or maybe just the positive responses from Spanish-speaking families.
You got it. You have that level of granularity.
So I can really slice and dice the data any way I need to.
Yep.
I love that. It's like having a superpower that lets you see exactly where your efforts are needed most.
And what's resonating with different groups within your community.
Talk about data-driven decision-making. This is amazing.
And it's not just about seeing the data, it's about sharing it effectively.
Oh, right. Because you might need to communicate this information to other people.
Exactly. And Student Story has some great reporting features that let you easily download and create reports for any segment of your data.
That's super helpful for communicating with stakeholders, whether it's school board members, teachers, or even the community at large.
Right. You can back up your decisions with real data and show the impact of the changes you're making.
It's all about transparency and accountability.
Exactly. And it really streamlines that whole process of turning data into action and demonstrating progress over time.
This is so exciting. It makes me think about all the ways schools could be using this platform to make real positive changes.
That's what it's all about. Empowering schools to move beyond those surface-level data points and truly understand the voices within their community.
It's about listening deeply and letting those voices guide you.
Exactly.
So what does all of this mean for our listeners out there? Well, imagine a world where you can hear not just what people are saying,
But why they're saying it.
exactly. Imagine being able to tap into the collective wisdom of your students, their families, your staff.
And use those insights to make informed decisions about everything.
From curriculum to school culture to...
Everything.
That's the power of Student Story.
It helps us connect with the human stories behind those numbers.
And then use those stories to drive meaningful action.
Exactly.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's not just about collecting data. It's about understanding the people behind the data. And that's what makes Student Stories so unique and so powerful.
It's a game changer for education.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So for all of you listening out there, if you're ready to move beyond those surface level surveys and truly unlock the power of voice in your school community.
Student Story is definitely worth checking out.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
We'll include a link in the show notes so you can check it out for yourself.